The good parts of Sydney and the good parts of Tokyo combine and we get Sokyo. My father, he opened his first restaurant when he was 26 in San Francisco, California. He couldn't speak English very well, and he just basically all guts. I learned a lot working with him. He was very famous with his sushi skills. We used to go out every weekend. And again, I was very young, but we would go to the French restaurant, and then it wasn't fun for me at the time, but I really appreciate he did that for me and for himself. And we were always making new dishes, and I think that's where my creativity came from.
You could definitely call it a contemporary Japanese with an Australian flair. Once he first came over, he didn't realise the value of Australian lamb. Ended up trying it and realised just how the amazing flavours that actually come out of it. It's so much more than what we had in the States. As soon as he tried it, like, we have to put it on the menu.
Well, Japanese tend to not eat lamb, but I think it's probably one of the best meats in the world. Especially the one we use here. It's so soft and has the right marble scoring, and then the combination with a little bit of umami from soy, the miso, and then the actual jus, and it's just delicious. That's the whole point of opening a restaurant in Australia, in Sydney. I want to really get involved and use the local produce. One of the dishes that I have is a Moreton Bay bug. I lightly poach it, serve it with some passion fruit jelly, burnt butter, mayonnaise, and finish it with some Vegemite croutons that we make everything in-house.
We use a lot of Australian beef also for a lot of his cooked dishes. We use a lot of, basically all of our fish is local fish also. So we're really stuck with that. So he's using his old traditional Japanese sushi and sashimi techniques that he's using actually, and comparing it with basically all of our Australian fish that you can't get actually over in the States or even over in Japan, obviously.
Fish is very fresh here. I love using them. I have two main purveyors. I use Wellstones for my sushi quality fishes. They tend to pick out better fish for me, just a fatter content like the tuna. And then I have Jotos where they get a lot of my ikijime fishes from Tasmania. Mark Ether, he's the fisherman, and it's cool that I get to meet him up and going fishing with him also, and he teaches me how to do the techniques that he does for my fish.
The whole Japanese and sake is still fairly new when it comes to Sydney's and Australia's dining scene. So we end up using a local guy called Michael Gabby. The restaurant Sake, he ended up putting their list together a few years ago, and he's got fantastic knowledge. He ended up coming on board as my assistant manager here, and Slash ended up assuming the role of taking over our sake list and developing that too. And he's turned into pretty much a sake sommelier, and he's like, honestly, he's really switched on. He's come up with a great list which pairs really well with a lot of chaser stuff. Recently he just ended up putting some really cool stuff on there, like he ended up using a red rice type sake also. Stuff that really unique stuff you wouldn't see around Sydney.
It's great working with him, pairing my sashimi and my hot dishes with the sakes that he picks out for me. I'm very lucky to have a great staff back and front of the house. They work so hard, and they're learning the traditional but also all my new dishes, and I really feel lucky that I have a great staff.